Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coding Bytes. I'm Sweta, an educator at Coding Lab, and today we're going to be creating a game on Scratch called Karate Chop. The game uses augmented reality, also known as AR, which helps to bring our games to life. For the game that we're working on today, we'll be using our hand motions to play. Here's a preview of what we'll be doing today. Are you ready to become a grandmaster? Help us make the planks disappear. Can you break them all with your own two hands? So let's see what the game looks like. So the planks flying on the screen, I've used my hands to slash them. I also need to avoid the bombs, otherwise the lives would decrease. You can also see over here that the timer is constantly counting down. Oh no, I hit a bomb. I have to try to catch as many planks as I can. Oh no, I hit another bomb before the time runs up. Alright, so that's what the game looks like. Let's start with our projects now. Now that we've seen how the game looks like, let's log into our Scratch account to open the project. So I've already logged into my Scratch account. So once we've logged in, we can just click this remix button here and let's get started. The first step of this project is to enable the video sensing extension so that we can use our hand motions. I already have this extension on my screen, but in case you don't have it on yours, you can click on the blue button here at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen and click on the video sensing extension block. And there you have it. The second step of this project is to code the plank when our hands touch it. So let's head to the plank sprite and go to costumes. We'll be using these costumes to show that the plank breaks upon the video motion of our hands on the sprite. There are two costumes here. One is for the whole plank and the other is for the broken plank. So let's head to the code part of the plank sprite now. We can see that it's empty over here. So we'll need to code the plank movements here. First, I'm going to events and I'll be taking out the when I receive block. I'll be changing this to start game. Next, I'll be going to motion and I'll be taking out the go to random position block. This is so that the planks are flying all over the place. Next, I'll be going to looks and I'll be taking out the switch costume block. And I'm going to make sure that this says hold so that the planks aren't broken before we slash them. Afterwards, we still need to make clones of the planks. Otherwise, we only have one plank to slash. So I'm going to go to control. I'm going to take out the forever block. Still under control, I'm going to take out the create clone of myself block so that we have many planks to slash. Next, I'm going to go to the wait block, which is also under control, so that the planks don't come in all at once. I'm also going to go to operators and take out the pick random block. I'm going to slot it in the wait block. I'm going to make sure it says pick random 1 to 2 seconds. So the planks will be cloning themselves within this time frame. We also need to hide the original plank. Otherwise, the original plank would stay at a fixed spot even if we slash it. So I'm going to go to looks. And we're taking out the hide block. And I'll be placing it just under the when I receive start game block. Pause this video and come back after you've entered this code. Now that we've added the codes to make the planks appear, we're going to get the planks to move. So first, I'm going to control, and I'll be taking out the when I start as the clone block. Next, I'm going to looks, and I'll be taking out the show block. That's because we had a hide block in the first series that we made earlier. So we want the clones to appear on the screen. Next, I'm going to video sensing, and I'll be taking out the video motion and sprite block. We want to adjust the sensitivity of our hand motions. If it's too sensitive, the sprite may break even with the smallest of hand movements. So I'm going to operators, and I'll be taking out the more than block. I'll be placing the video motion block on the left-hand side, and we're changing the right-hand value to 30. Next, I'm going to control, and I'll be taking out the repeat until block. We're placing the green block inside the repeat until block. The repeat until block ensures that the plank continues to fly around even when we're not touching it. So in other words, the plank will stop flying and break only when the hand touches the spread. We'll be adding in the movements inside this block. First, I'm going to motion, and I'll be adding in the move 10 steps block. I'll be adding in the turn clockwise 15 degrees block. And I'll be adding in another move 10 steps block. And I'll be adding in another turn 15 degrees block, but this time it'll be in the anti-clockwise direction. This will have to make the movements a bit more interesting. I'm also going to need the if on edge bounce block so that the planks would continue to remain in the screen when they hit the edge. So let's see what it looks like now. All right, so you can see that the planks are moving around the screen. Okay, now we're going to code what happens after the hand chops the plank. So I'm going to look. Now I'll be taking out the switch costume to broken block. We also want the plank to leave the screen after getting slashed. So I'm going to go motion. I'll be taking out the glide seconds block with the X and Y coordinates. I'm going to change this to 0.5 seconds. For the X coordinates, I'm going to add the X position block, which can be found on motion. This is so that the plank will fall from wherever it's positioned at the moment. For the Y variable, I'm going to change this to -180, so that the plank will fall downwards. Next, I'm going to need to delete the clone, so I'm going to control, and I'll be taking out the delete this clone block. Pause this video and come back after you've entered this code. Now we'll be moving on to the third step, which is to add the sound effects for the karate chop. So let's go to sound and select the play sound whoosh until done block. I'm going to be placing it under the switch costume block. So if you want to know how it sounds, let me show you. That's pretty neat, right? All right, so let's go back to the code. So now we can move on to the last step, which is to ensure that the score changes when the planks are slashed. So I'll go to variables. I'll take out the change variable by 1 block, place it under the whoosh sound. I'm going to make sure that this says planks, so that the score adds up for each plank slashed. All right, so that's the end of our project. Do try out the codes and enjoy the game. Thank you for watching. I hope you had learned something with me today. Do give us a like if you had enjoyed this video. Click subscribe for more Coding Byte content and feel free to comment below. Thank you and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.